Hey there, YouTube fans, watchers, LTK subscribers, etc. Okay, got a knife. Gee, TwoSun knives. You've seen a review or two on TwoSun, probably because you've seen my review on this one and on this one, right? And the Tonto, which I don't have because I traded it away. In any case, TwoSun knives. Let's get to this one. This is the TS31. That's the model number. It just came in today, and as per all the other models, it was absolutely in a cellophane type bag, twisted at the top, totally enclosed, and it was wet with oil. So cut the bag open, took it out, wiped it down. It was amazing because I flipped it out, and it seemed okay at first. Flipped it a second or third time, and then guess what happened? I mean, it came to a screeching halt. Wow. And you know what? I didn't take it apart. First of all, I don't have the pivot tool for that, but I'm sure I could have worked my way around it. But I saw a review from Brian, who's a subscriber of mine, and I'm a subscriber as his, but he got this knife first. Actually, he turned me on to this whole deal on eBay that's going on right now. And he got this knife and got it in, and he did a little review. And in his review, he talked about the pivot, action on this being really horrible. And he was about ready to box it up and send it back. Well, here's the deal. What he did, instead of taking it apart or messing with it, because he didn't want to really mess with it much, but he just put a drop or two of oil on the pivot. Now, it was soaked in oil. I mean, this knife was just wet with oil. But there wasn't a drop on the pivot. I mean, that must have been drier than a bone. And that is, I guess, the issue. Really, do you have to take them apart and clean them up? You can if you want. But you know what? No, I didn't do that to this one. And I don't know that I'm going to do any of them going down the road either. I don't think I ever needed to take them apart. I think I just need to put a little oil on the pivot. So I just got this in today, and I was just looking for some mil spec, kind of gun oil or whatever, lightweight stuff. And so I got this in, and so I just dropped a couple of drops in on the pivot, down through the backside. Really, actually, it was, I just dropped it in there because you can get to it quick. And then, what I'll do is I'll open it up and get it from the other side. Or that side. I mean, 3 or 4 drops of oil here and there in different strategic areas, and then you just work it. And you know what? Man, this thing is just no problem at all now. It's amazing transformation. It is absolutely incredible that this knife went from Frankenstein to absolutely sweet in, 3 flips with a little bit of oil on the thing. And I've got some tough lube coming in, but it wasn't here. Otherwise, I might have tried that because it probably, I don't know. You go online and Google about, lubricants for knife pivots and stuff like that, and everybody's got their own dream team. I mean, they've got this ram oil, they've got mil spec, they've got tough lube, they've got, you name it, vegetable oil. I mean, they got all kinds of crazy stuff. So everybody's, kind of got their own thing. The only thing they don't like the wet oils because they think it's going to attract dust and debris, over time, and therefore just kind of goop it up. I don't know. This is probably a knife that's not going to be used for digging dandelions or anything, so I can't imagine I'm going to expose it to a whole lot of dust, no more than whatever little lint might be in my pocket, okay? Other than that, whatever I cut, which is probably going to be not dusty things anyhow, but whatever. Any case, It got in today. It's anode. It's the TS31. It's okay. So you'd think, okay, so you went on DHgate or AliExpress and you bought this, right? Well, yeah, the rest of them I did. That one I did. That one I did. But no, Brian, and I think it's Brian Min KC. So I think he's like, lives in Kansas City, obviously. I've checked his video out on this knife in particular, and kind of, we talk back and forth. So he turned me on to the fact that there were these people selling these on eBay, okay? And I just thought I'd run over this paperwork real quick. Okay, this seller's name is YYKKYY77, okay? And this knife, of course, currently is at $36. It's got 5 hours and basically about, 5.5 hours left to go. In any case, I'm just showing you this because this knife I could not find on DHgate. I couldn't find this style. And I thought, well, I'll find this style, but apparently the anode job is something he's doing for his eBay auctions. But I couldn't even find this exact style on DHgate. So I don't see it. I mean, and I'm not just talking about this seller or whatever. I'm just talking about type in TwoSun, TWOSUN, all one word, knife, and go on and look. And this specific style is not there at all. So the only place I've seen it is on this eBay auction, which is weird. Now this is September 30th of 2016. So if you're watching this and it's December or whatever, or whatever it is, this guy may not be doing this. He's been doing this for like a month, okay? So I got turned on to it, and I actually won this knife for not $36, but $38.50-something, okay? Which is a great deal, because I think that it would probably cost you $50 or $55 if you were just going to buy it on DHgate or AliExpress, if you could get it there for that. Get all this crap out of the way now. Okay, you guys, off stage. In any case, so let's check this out. What I was going to do is to try and get a weight on it, because I never did get a weight on it. And here, let me pull this over so you can see it as well. Let's fold it up, and then we'll get into the rest of this specs on it. 4.6, not bad weight, good carry weight. It's not a huge knife, but 4.6 is not bad. I'm guessing it's around 3.5-inch blade, 8 inches overall, but let's find out. And no, it's not a full 3.5-inch blade. It is 3.25. Okay. Overall length is not 8 inches. It's 7, and if you're going to look at the lanyard thing, 7.5 plus an eighth, so 7 5/8 overall. So it's not a huge knife. Width here is a little over an inch. As far as up and down, probably at the fattest part. What I was going to do, well, let's start out with this. Hey, I got a new tool. Here we go. So we can actually get a measurement on the thickness of the blade, which is kind of nice to be able to do that. Okay. So it's basically 3.9 millimeters. Yeah. So it's about 4 millimeter thick. I guess we can go inches. Yeah, 0.15, 0.16. So, 0.156 actually. Thickness. Okay, overall thickness on this, not quite a ½ inch. Okay, that comes in handy. I'm glad I got that in the other day. It was driving me crazy trying to use my tape measure to do that. It doesn't make any sense at all. So it's about a 4 millimeter thick, and I'm working in millimeters on that. I don't know why, but I mean, that's kind of how a lot of these blades come in. They're pretty close to 4 millimeter thickness, and that's not bad for a knife that's only a 3 1/4 inch blade. But it feels good in the hand, okay? It's titanium. Let's see if we can find the handy, oh God, really? Here we go. Handy magnet, sorry about that. Yep, stainless, stainless, stainless. Backspacer's titanium, handle's titanium. Clip is titanium. All the rest of this is stainless. And I'm trying to figure out, that backspacer, you're right, that's titanium. Nothing there. Okay. Those are stainless. Okay, D2 steel on the blade. At least that's what they're saying. And I tend to believe them. Lockup. It's amazing you can go 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes into a knife review, and you're just now looking at the lockup and the dimensions. Sorry. I was just talking about the eBay auctions because I think if you want to, you can look in on them. If you're watching this, you know, fairly current, you might be able to catch some of these knives, and it's a great deal. That's probably about 30%, 35%. Not bad. You'll see that you have these screws here because you do have, yeah, you can see the interface here. And if I can get the light at the right angle, you can actually see it. See, there you go. So you've got that insert, that hardened steel insert in there, and you got the little detent ball. And over travel stop, if you look down this way, you can see the over travel stop down in there on the other side of that log bar. So you got an over travel stop. Okay, you got a hardened steel interface, so you shouldn't have as much lock stick, although that can still happen sometimes. The pivot, it's saying, they say that they have KVT pivot. I don't know. I know one thing, that I think they're ceramic bearings. But be that what it may, the anode job is interesting, and it's kind of funny because on the back side, it's not glamorous, okay, but it's a tumbled stonewash type finish back here. You can see that. Proprietary pivot type thing, but I think that can be overcome. I think you can even go to Home Depot and get this kind of angled stock and just cut off a piece and stick it in there. I think I've seen on DHgate, they have a tool that will fit in here and use. You can use it on that because they have a knife in there, not TwoSun brand, but another brand that has a pivot like that. So they sell you the little tool. And it's just a little piece of triangular stock. You just stick it in there and turn. So it's whatever. That shouldn't be too difficult to figure out. At least that's not too crazy. One guy was saying that you could grind off the end of a big fat Phillips. You know, as the tip gets thinner, you just grind that part back, and then, you know, it'll fit in there. And that's an idea too. And then Torx for the rest of these, so that's not real difficult. It's not very glamorous on the backside. I get that, but that's okay. That's okay. The front is these are grooves that are cut in here. I mean, take a look at that. And it's like they're dark anode, kind of like the back here. It's a dark gray color. And then you got this. When I saw it originally, I thought this was kind of a rainbow anode, but it's not. It's light blue and silver. And at some angles, sometimes it almost looks goldish, but it's not. It's silver and blue. And it's kind of like, I don't know what they laid down here, but you know, they anode it, and that's just the natural finish here, and this is the blue anode there. But it's attractive. It's interesting that all these grooves are cut in here. Can you imagine? I mean, to me, that just seems like a lot of machine time. And I paid, you know, a little less than $39 for this knife, and that included shipping. Okay, so really, titanium backspacer. They did the nice integral or the hardened insert with the detemp ball. The pivot is on bearings, and it is nice. You've got some jimping here, and it's really, this knife I think is probably more finished than the other TwoSun knives that I've had. You know, this is smooth, this is good too, but there's no jimping, you know, on this one. They went to the trouble to put jimping. This is an open standoff design. Here they have a spacer that has texturing on it too, like jimping, okay? So they did this full spacer thing, and instead of just like part of the handle for the lanyard hole, they actually, the tip of it sticks out of the back spacer, right, from the slabs of the handle, and that's your lanyard hole, which is a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, solid than that. This one just seems a little bit more complete. Plus, I mean, here the finish work probably not so much as this, because this one had to be dark anode, tumbled, stonewashed, whatever. And also, then all this patterning here, and then the custom anode job across here. And to tell you the truth, folks, I can't find this knife on DHgate. I can't find it. I mean, there's another knife that kind of has this lobe look like this, but the grind here on the blade is all different, and it's not, doesn't have these checkered things, and it doesn't have this anode job. So maybe this is an eBay only, you know, knife for this guy. I don't know if this guy's repping for the actual a manufacturer shop, or if he's just a seller. I don't know. But I like it. I mean, I had to get one, and I followed some of them through, and some of them were going for like $60 or more. And so I just grabbed one. Sometimes they end at like 1 or 2 in the morning because the guy that's selling them is in China, and he's listing them on his time, but it ain't convenient for the USA buyers. So, you know, you want to either use your ambush bidding software or stay up late and see what you can grab if you can get it late. But yeah, I like it. It's you know, it's less than $40. Titanium, frame lock, flipper, interface, you know, decent, good lockup, not too heavy, no lock stick, really good action, D2 steel. So hopefully it's reasonably sharp out of the box. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's real sharp. It's got a good working edge. It's not like a mirrored, polished, you know, super razor sharp, but it'd probably shave the hair on your arm. I like it. Good color. What am I missing that I should be talking about? The jimping. We got the blade, D2. We got the kind of a modified drop point. The thickness, we went over that there. Overall length, titanium, great anode. I guess we've done it. I like it. It feels good in the hand. It'd be a good carry knife. You know, it's not too heavy, right? Under 5 ounces, 4.5, whatever we measured there, 4.6, 4.6, I think. Attractive, showy. Well done. I like the cutout and the flipper tab. That's one place I think that they aren't as finished as other knives. It's It's not razor sharp, but it's not real well finished here. And you know, I mean, every other part of this knife is kind of rounded because it's either stone washed or beveled like that. But this part is, of course, part of the blade. And this has just kind of a raw milled surface to it. Very shiny, obviously. But you can see that there's really not been much of an attempt. You can't really see a shiny, like chamfered or deburred edge here. It's sharp. It's like fresh milled. I don't think they even took a little deburring tool around there, really. It's not ragged sharp, but it's, you know, it's very plain in terms of like raw machine plain. Okay? So that's about the only place. But good Lord, folks, it's not $150. You know, it's $39. It's what I paid for it. I guess you can't buy one on DHgate. It's a little weird. If you can find it somewhere, you know, put it down in the comments or something. I didn't look on AliExpress. I don't know if there's a seller on Ali that carries the TwoSun brand, or maybe they have one of these knives that is not branded TwoSun, because I've seen some of these designs, including this one, that were not branded as TwoSun. This one's still good. This one has the TwoSun label on it, okay? But there are others out there that they call like a Chris Reeve type knife, and you'll see it on my other review of this particular knife. But so it's possible there is a knife out there that just doesn't have the TwoSun brand on it that is exactly like this one. I don't know. If they do, that'd be really interesting, because it'd be interesting to see what's the buy it now price, because I don't even see a buy it now price on this. Oh, one other thing. Hold on. I was going to get to this. Okay, so like I showed you this, and I showed you the seller's name, right? YYKK, whatever. There's another one that's selling them, and I mean, they're listing them. I mean, they start them at $1. Okay, this got 4 days left and 9 hours. And this one is D-Win99. So when you go and you type in the search word TwoSun, all one word, knife, then it'll bring them all up. And there's some at fixed prices, buy it now prices, and then there's some, the majority of them, they're just starting them at $1 and then they let them go for a week, right? So this one is the 82, model 82. It's totally titanium and everything, but it's right now at $6.54. You know, if you could grab one at a good price, you know, they probably don't go for over 45 to, I think this one really commands the highest price of all the TwoSun models that are being auctioned off. And this one has gone, I think, for as much as $60-something at the max. The other one or two, most of them have been selling for below 50. So you might be able to grab one, and I would recommend it. You know, they're not as nicely finished as maybe the F95 Icebreaker clone or the CH3504. These have, you know, these are more smoothed off, more finished overall and everything. But, you know, let's talk about that. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, they're all smooth and wonderful as far as function goes. And this one is a little less finished because of this. But this I got for $39. This one's $85. So, you know, this is half. Okay, so this is half. That's a damn good deal. I mean, I try and think in my mind, where would I get this knife? Who would have one? Kershaw, Spyder Coast, SOG, Cold Steel. I mean, I don't know. I'm Boker, whatever. Titanium, framelock, tactical flipper, ball bearings, ceramic, titanium clip. I mean, it's a good deal. And so I thought maybe you guys would be interested in knowing that, maybe looking out for it. Brian liked his. I mean, we hated ours out of the box. They sucked. They were horrible. That third flip, it just like practically locked up coming out. I mean, it just went and kind of stopped, and it was like, oh my God. Couple of drops of REM oil in there, and or whatever lubricant you, kind of a light oil or maybe tough lube. And boom, I mean, it was a total different knife. I mean, it's amazing. They come soaked in oil, and yet there's no lube on the pivot. I don't get it, but it's okay. It's kind of like you finish it yourself type knife. But I mean, for the price, it's okay. It's okay to do that. Good grip, no hot spots. I mean, the clip isn't crazy. Look at, I mean, have you seen the clips that, no, this stays low. Easy to get to the pocket, yet it's got, it's got some spring to it, so it wouldn't be too tough, but yeah, it's not a deep carry. Okay, yeah, okay. And can you change it? No, you can't. So it's tip up, right hand only. Ah, well, but worse things have happened. Since I'm right-handed, it's all good for me, and that's all I care about. If you're left-handed, yeah, you can do this. You can still, you can put it in your pocket. It's not the same configuration for carry, but it's doable. It's doable. Yeah, I guess it's not great to be left-handed because then you're like this, right? And so it's different. But I can't do anything left-handed, but I can flip this out now because this pivot is smooth. It's nice. It's comfortable, and also, what I forgot to mention earlier, look there. So you got this liner here on the far edge. Here's the closest one. Here's the far edge. So, they give you, the design is good because they give you that place to push that scale aside. Some of them don't. Some of them even it out for the looks of the design, but then it becomes difficult to actually function with the frame lock. This, not a problem. And it flips nice. It really does. I mean, they come with good materials in them, so. Took your time up again on this one, but really this is a pretty knife. It's just fun just to sit there and look at it. So you can really get a good idea of what kind of knife it is. This cutaway here, the back spacer extends out for the lanyard. And that's not too sharp. I mean, it's nice and rounded here. Inside hole, yeah, not as well finished out. I can feel some roughness there. Yeah, but hey, if you can catch one at the right price, is it a $150 knife? Nah. I mean, may some other manufacturer want $150 for this knife? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You're right. I mean, I kind of like it better than some of the Kaisers I've been reviewing, and those things MSRP for $180 to $220. So, yeah, I think this would be the knife I'd rather have in my pocket. It sure opens a lot easier. That's for sure. It's slick. And does it come down? Yeah, it comes back down the handle, and it's not too stiff, but it's not too loose. It doesn't just drop into the handle, but it's got, it clicks in. Detent is good. Detent is good. Yeah, nice. All right. I know it's a little repetitive, another TwoSun model, but you see them on DHgate, and I'm just trying to cover some of the things. I've got more knives coming in that are not TwoSun brand, and yeah, I think you'll be impressed. I've got a really good mix of different things, and they are a lot of knives that you see a lot on DH and AliExpress. So, but they're different than I've been doing. So I think you'll be impressed. All right, thank you very much. Hey, have fun with your knives. That's what it's all about. Take care.